When last these two teams met, it was the Buffaloes that edged clear early in the final term. But the Magpies hit back late at the other end of the ground, and when the final siren sounded, the teams couldn't be split. With a finals berth on the line, both teams will be desperate for all the points this evening. It's the Buffaloes and Palmerston live on AFL NTV.
Certainly is the Buffaloes and Palmerston live on AFL NTV today, and it should be another cracking game. The last time these two teams met, of course, there was no result, as we mentioned in the opener. Today the stakes are even higher, and both teams will be out to secure a win. Hello, my name's Dave Kennedy, and I'm joining you on AFL NTV today with, of course, the great Gray Morris from NT News. Gray, it looks like it should be an entertaining game today.
Well, it's firstly make or break, isn't it, for both sides. Palmerston have to win this to get back into the five, and the Buffaloes have still got a sniff, so Mark Motlop tells me, so they'll be looking for the points as well.
Well, our timing's impeccable as we start off proceedings here, Gray. We are underway in the Buffaloes versus Palmerston game, and immediately it's Lloyd Turner that gets the clearance up towards centre half forward. Matt Campbell couldn't trap it. Trying to come through there is Tosh Kerner. There's a free kick. It's going to go the Buffaloes' way early. Might even go to Willie Foster. No, in fact, it's going to be a free kick to Bill Irving, who wheels around, kicks up towards the 50-metre mark, and then coming out to greet it there is Calvin Williams. The umpire said he got one high though, and it's a free kick to Calvin Williams early.
Yes, he actually ruled that a slung him, and change here for Darwin very early in the game.
Williams has gone back with a rather large run-up. As you might be able to see there in the pictures, the ground has been chopped up to a large extent today, and will take a good kick. But Calvin Williams is up to the task, and the Buffaloes draw first blood, and they kick the first of the evening. Buffaloes won straight 6. Palmerston yet to score. A minute played on AFL NTV.
Yes, nice goal to Kelvin. That'll give the Buffaloes a bit of early confidence. Interesting with the oval too, Dave. The AFL-NT are looking at the ground tomorrow with the view, and Monday with the view to moving next week's round of fixtures. So
yeah, that's really interesting, Ray. Of course, we've already had one round of fixtures move, and could have a second one.
Yes, the rain keeps coming down, doesn't it?
And continue to play plenty of matches on this game, of course. If you've just joined us and don't know the score, Waratah recorded their second win of the season, and jubilant celebrations from the Waratahs players and the coaching staff, Gray. And of course, after this, Wanderers and Tiwi, but it's the Buffaloes going forward once again. Runs to 50, kicks up towards goal. Williams let it go through, and it's another goal to the Buffaloes.
Yes, ran all the way down the wing then did
Brendan Murphy's kicked
Brendan Murphy. Nice Irish name, and certainly an Irish run down the scoreboard wing, and 2 goals to nothing, and we've only been going 2.5 minutes.
Well, this is the dream start for the Buffaloes, Gray. They're out to a 2-goal advantage, and we've only played 2.5 minutes on AFL NTV. It's already the Buffaloes, 2 straight 12, leading Palmerston. Gray, I'm already starting to think the Palmerston boys, they haven't started well in previous weeks. I'm reminded of the St Mary's game, 8 goals to 1 they conceded it against the Saints, and already 2 goals to nothing in this game against the Buffaloes.
Yes, they must switch on, otherwise the season's going to be gone.
Kick intercepted here by Wilson King across half back. Then he just dribbles one out to the wing. Lloyd Turner got the handball back. His teammate under pressure. And Magpies have numbers. One of them there is Lachlan Durkay. The umpire said he wasn't taken high, ducked his head, and consequently was dispossessed, holding the ball, says the umpire. So the Buffaloes moving forward once again. The kick there intended for Irving is cut off though, and the Magpies will steady the ship and spread from half back.
Yes, a very confident Palmerston coach, Dean Rioli, during the week, but his players haven't come out like that at all. And there's a terrible spill mark.
Yeah, Daniel Russell came up to meet it, didn't take the mark, but did well at ground level to gather. And the kick up towards the centre of the ground, a big tackle laid there And Brodie Bennett brought to a standstill. Ball up. Campbell from the clearance. Did well. He was very clean in close. Got it to Sean Wilson. Played reasonably well this time. His kick's intercepted. Emery across half back for the Magpies. Signed with NT Thunder this year. Great, Justin Emery.
He has a very, very good ball getter.
Meantime, Daniel Russell inside 50. Wanted Hamilton. Didn't quite take the mark. What can the Magpies do at ground level? There's Murphy. He's in the back line now. Got it out to Wilson King. Tried to clear the defensive 50. Not quite successful. Still inside 50 for the Magpies, and things are brought to a standstill. Murphy's there once again. A ball up inside 50. It's the Buffaloes 2 straight 12. Leading the Magpies yet to score. As Hamilton got up high, tapped it down. Sean Wilson roved it very well and got it out of the danger zone. Once again, though, it's a turnover, cut off Daniel Russell.
Yes, the big fellow made his debut last week with Palmerston. Was very impressive in the wet out there at Norwood Oval.
Bennett concedes back to that man. So Russell, he's had an absolute bucket load of the ball early. And this time he kicks a penetrating ball inside 50. He wants Cloak to take the mark. Cloak did well to bring it to ground level. Collinson's in there. And then he's going to get the clearing kick. There's not anyone there for the Buffaloes, though. And it's going to be a contest here on centre wing. A couple of players going after it. In the end, Damaso does very well. The handball over the top. The Magpies clear it through Davey inside 50, and a strong mark is taken out in front there by Hamilton. Kicks up towards the top of the square. No mark is taken. Ground level, what can the Magpies muster? Matt Campbell was there. And Sean Wilson, and they combine and exit defensive 50 to Buffaloes. Sean Wilson once again, they go with hands. Irving was put under pressure. The Magpies forced the turnover. Mark is taken by Mark Hamilton. Looks inside 50, goes wide, looking for Cloak. Kick drops 10 metres short though, and a boundary throw in.
Unusual way to go deep into a pocket when you've got a giant like Cloak standing in the goal square.
So boundary throw in inside 50. Tap down from Hamilton was pretty good. Shot up towards the top of the square. Cloak got front position. Just couldn't quite take it on the chest. Great handball out there towards Church. Couldn't quite take it though. The Magpies still with a chance. Davey. His kick was a bit wonky and it came off the side of the boot, and that's cut off Kevin Renahan. Near enough the last line of defence, Gray.
Been blazing away of the Magpies. They can't find a target yet.
Let's see how they go with this build-up. Measured kick. Once again, it's not a great kick, Gray, and there's a lot of kick-to-kick going on here between the Buffaloes and the Magpies. Michaelis McMaster's out of the Buffaloes side today, Gray. Here's an opportunity where he would have provided run for them along the wing.
Yeah, those wide open spaces. He certainly enjoyed them last week against a very good side in St Mary's as well.
Series of short kicks ends with Tosh Kernoff. A lot of Centralians in the side today for the Buffaloes, Gray, that I've noticed.
Gee, there's a lot of Centralians in the league in general. So unbelievable.
Here's Daniel Russell once again cutting things off. He goes short and wide, finds Jamie Damaso. So it's a game that's failed to reach any sort of significant heights at the moment. The Buffaloes snared a couple early, and since then it's been kick to kick along the half forward lines. Inside 50 go the Buffaloes. Collinson, did he get one high? Sean Wilson it is, I should say.
Just looking at the Palmerston forward structure, they've got big Cloak in the square and no one else. Surely a sweeper like an Alwyn Davey or a Justin Emery would be handy.
Cam Stokes, creative handball up towards Joseph Collinson, who got it to Jared Stokes. Thought about running on, but Pierce Little did well to force him back. And now Stokes from about 60 metres out. This might clear everyone. No, a couple of fists on there, and eventually it spills out of play. Boundary throw in, still inside 50 now for the Buffaloes. 2 straight they lead. The Magpies yet to score. Just over 8 minutes gone in the first term here at TIO.
Yes, the desperation not there yet for the Magpies. They can go as high as 4th by winning today, of course, depending on the result of the districts of the Tiwi Wanderers game, which comes after this one, Dave.
Yeah, they really need to start well, the Magpies, you feel, and they can't concede another goal here. The Buffaloes are hungry, and coming out of the ruck there is Irving, but his kick on goal is well wide of the mark. In fact, it's touched, so it'll be another boundary throw in, Gray. Almost 9.5 minutes gone. It's a real arm wrestle at the moment. There's not too much or skill on display. This one's knocked towards the boundary line. Just paddling it forward there is Church, and it spills out of play.
Yes, the Magpies really have to hold Darwin here and get themselves on the board. They haven't scored yet, and we've been going more than 10 minutes.
So about to be brought back into play, about 40 out. Russell wins the tap down. Good handball up to Church, and he clears defensive 50. An easy defensive mark taken by Dylan Gordon, who's floated up. He goes wide. Mark taken Renahan, and he goes wider still, and the switch is almost complete. Eric Campbell just couldn't quite gather. Then he got it off to Murphy, who left it behind. 2-on-1 the Buffaloes' way, and it's still not locked in. Murphy around the corner. Calvin Williams almost gathered cleanly. Crowd yelling for a free kick, not forthcoming from the umpire. It's still in dispute. There's a whistle though, and it's a Palmerston free kick. The free kick is going to go to Emery inside his defensive 50. Goes out wide to a very pale looking Daniel Russell. He's had a lot of it.
He must be on about his 10th disposal already.
He's had a truckload of the footy. Got it to Cameron Cloak, who's another big fellow himself. And now he goes up towards Hamilton. Jumps very high, and you'd almost pay that mark. Umpire saying not enough of it. Maybe a little bit unlucky.
Mark Noonan there doing his 7th NTFL game. Yes, wouldn't pay it. He wanted the 3rd second, I think. He probably got 2.5.
Boundary throw in on centre wing. And long kick up towards half forward. No mark taken, but the Buffaloes have numbers at ground level. Good tackle there. Coming from Johnson. Dispossessed him. Now Lloyd Turner kicks inside 50. No mark taken. Once again, Pettigrew on this occasion forced to get it out in any means possible. Brodie Bennett did the same, but his kick came unstuck, and now the Buffaloes through Calvin Williams. He pumps a long ball up towards Collinson at the top of the square. There's plenty of Palmerston Magpies around it, though. They should work themselves out. One of them's Bevan Charlton White. It's taken out of play, though. Boundary throw in inside 50 for the Magpies. Now, on our team sheet, number 7 showing Bevan Charlton White. I could have sworn he's a bit bigger than that. Anyway.
And I see the Palmerston skipper, Pierce Little, is tagging Matty Campbell.
Interesting move.
An interesting place, that.
Yeah. Good tackle, Brodie Bennett. And they force stoppage. Free kick from the stoppage, and it is going to be a free kick. Charlton White, who switches play to Church, who's got a little bit of space, a little bit of time to work with. He wants to go over the top. He wanted Durkay to run onto it. It's a good defensive effort, though, there coming from Jordan Wilson-King. He hasn't quite gathered, and eventually just pushes it forward. Church is on the end of it, though, and he pumps it out of his defensive 50, but a good defensive mark taken by Brendan Murphy, who's got a goal to his name, Gray.
It's going very well. It seems to be where the ball is, Dave.
Aaron Davey, meantime, with a dangerous kick, but it's come off because Brodie Bennett's got some time and space to work with. He wanted to go over the top towards Shanahan. The kick wasn't great though, and it's cut off. Eric Campbell did well, gave the don't argue, kicked inside 50 for the Buffaloes. Jared Stokes is thereabouts. Matt Campbell lays the tackle. Pierce Little flicked a handball out. Campbell goes in again, spills out. Turner with a high kick up towards the goal square. It might have been Foster in fact, and Williams takes the mark. He's going to go back and line up goal number 2.
Had to happen, Dave. They've just been forcing the ball for them, the Buffaloes, and Palmerston right now at 6s and 7s.
Well, in comes Calvin Williams. He's already got one to his name. That was from set shot, and he's kicked another from set shot. So 2 goals to Calvin Williams, 3 goals to the Buffaloes, and that's the margin. 18-0. The Buffaloes have had a good start. 15 minutes played on AFL NTV.
Yes, they're first to the ball, and they're making the Magpies kick in haste, which is why more often than not they're kicking to Buffalo opponents, especially when they go forward to the middle. So right now, Dave, it's all Darwin.
Yeah, it certainly is, Gray, and maybe not exactly what we were expecting, but the Buffaloes just needing results to go their way, and
yes, they win this within half a game of the top 5.
This is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to take any sort of doubt away from it. That's a good strong bump played there by Irving. Gathered the loose footy. Put the handball over the top there to Josh Turner. Kicked it to a dangerous spot. Campbell, he's clever in these situations. Got a handball out to Tosh Kernock around the corner. Wants Ross to take them up. Did everything but take it in the end. It's forced across the boundary, across the behind line, and geez, the Magpies lucky to get away with that one.
Yes, Ross had that game, but he seemed to hear footsteps too at the wrong time. And spilled what was a relatively easy mark.
Kicked a ripping goal in the clutch, in the clinches last night, or last week I should say.
Just not able to his boots, as I recall.
Not able to get on the end of it this time. That one spills out of play. Jordan Wilson-King there with Tristan Battaglia. Russell wins the tap, unopposed. Towards the boundary line, Sean Wilson takes it out of play. Plenty of stoppages in the Waratahs Southern Districts game, Gray. And it looks like there's going to be plenty of stoppages here today once again. In this match, I should say.
There will be on the ground a lot, and he who works hardest gets the football, don't I noticed the wind blowing fairly fiercely on the flag on the scoreboard. Seemed to be favouring the left-hand side of the screen as we look at it. Which is unusual. Normally you get the breeze blowing to the right of the screen.
Interesting.
Well, I'm just turning around now as we speak.
Back into play, clears everyone. Holt Tubbs off the ground. Good soccering effort. Goes inside 50 for the Magpies. Emery's thereabouts, and also there is Tillmouth Turner. Knocked it out. Battaglia to Emery, round the corner to the top of the goal square. One-handed effort from Cloak. Didn't quite come down with it. Good defence shown there by Dylan Gordon, and it spills out of play. Boundary throw in the forward pocket for the for the Magpies, I should say.
That was terrific work by Gordon. He's been a very good player all season for the Buffaloes.
Has he had a haircut, Gray?
He has since he played at Palmerston, certainly playing, and which means, of course, he's playing against his old side.
Well, he won that tap down unopposed, and here goes the speed machine, Jared Stokes. Emery does well to corral his space and force him to kick up towards the wing. There's a whistle here, and it's going to be a Buffaloes free kick on the outer side. Free kick taken by Irving. Up towards half forward. Wanted Eric Campbell to run onto it. Johnson's there to mop up. Did he get one in the back? Umpire says no. The ball spills out of play. Boundary throw in. About 80 metres out from the Buffaloes goal, who lead this one 19-0. 18 minutes gone in the first term. It's been all double blue traffic in this first term, Gray Morris.
Yes, the Buffalo supporters have been quite happy with the way they're going and the intensity levels as well.
Back into play. And high up and under, umpire saying that one touched off the boot. Emery forced to dispose of it. And the Buffalo's just edging it forward. Eldridge, he's got pace himself. Good tackle though from Cooper. Dispossessed him, and now Little pounces on the footy that was in dispute. And Church tries to knock it forward. Campbell now tries to gather, taps it in front of himself. Might be happy to see that one over in the end. And it spills out of play. The true centre wing position between the interchange gates here at TIO Stadium, which is, as we've mentioned earlier in the coverage, looking a little bit worse for wear. I'm sure we'll get through our 2 games today. Of course, the Wanderers versus the Tiwi Bombers coming up on AFL NTV after this one. Meantime, Johnson flicked a handball out to Alwyn Davey, who went short and found another Davey. It might be Alwyn, I think. And he goes inside 50, comes off hands. Buffaloes with the numbers, and they clear defence. Sean Wilson and Davey. Wilson did well to get it back to Brendan Murphy, who just put it on the boot. A bit of a hit and hope, and now the foot race. Alwyn Davey looks like he'll get there first. Spun his way out of trouble, and then kicked in towards Daniel Russell, who takes the mark as we approach time on. Russell kicks up towards centre half forward. Strong effort there, coming from holding the ball, as the umpire said. It might have been Tilmouth Turner. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Meantime, Buffalo's free kick. Joseph Collinson kicks inside 50. Willie Foster was the target. Good defensive mark taken though. The Magpies will shore things up through Jamie DeMazzo, who's had a bit of it early as well, Gray.
Playing against his old side as well. There's quite a few players here up against their old comrades.
Yeah. Well, I guess, Gray, that's probably a historical thing with the North Darwin and Darwin prior to Palmerston.
Well, it's really all of Darwin, really. The player exchanges off-season are very, very common.
Very good catch taken by Mark Hamilton. Just stuck the jukes up, and it's stuck. And he's going to go back, and, geez, to say he needs to kick the goal, Gray, is an understatement.
Yeah, 21 minutes into the quarter, and they haven't scored.
In comes Hamilton. Kicks from outside 50. It goes across the face. It's not going to register a score. Still in play in the forward pocket. The Buffaloes should mop up through Sean Wilson. Great tackle, though. He's brought to a standstill. And Alwyn Davey will have a kick on goal. Should kick the goal.
Incidentally wearing the number 3 today, his old number at Essendon, who have been in the headlines again, though. Yeah,
they have. Plenty of stories coming out about the Bombers.
Of which Alwyn Davey will have some link to, you would think, so maybe that's on his mind, what's happening down there at Windy Hill. But the Magpies definitely need this.
Very interesting. Well, he needs a lift, and maybe he can get it here. Jeez, he's missed. It's a bad miss on the quarter-time siren. It's the first score of the game for the Magpies, and it's just a behind. One behind the Buffaloes, 3-1-19, and in control. But as we know, Palmerston have given up starts in the past and come back with a wet sail. Will they do it again? We'll find out soon on AFL NTV. Back soon after the quarter-time break.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free. for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, Eskies and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelling and Pinelands.
What did he say? He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
Hello and welcome back to TIO Stadium, where the Buffaloes are in control of this one on AFL NTV. 3-1-19, they lead the Magpies one behind, and they look like they're in control. But some sad news during the week, Gray, with the passing of a real Territory football icon.
Yes, Kadji Dunn unfortunately left us last Sunday night after a long battle with heart problems and pneumonia, but for us old fellows, we'll remember him as a champion centre-half forward in a great St Mary's side through the 1980s. I found a pamphlet the other day, Dave, from the 1988 Centennial side that won the championship, and lo and behold, number 25 there was a guy called Kadji Dunn. So unfortunately for football and his extended family, he's left us, and our condolences to the Dunn family.
Yes, our condolences to the Dunn family, who have been touched by tragedy on a number of occasions, unfortunately, in recent times. But once again we can remember Kadji Dunn, great footballer in his own right. So the Buffaloes, now Tim Eldridge up towards the wing. Good mark is taken by Jared Stokes. Looking to move it up towards half forward. They all fly, no one comes down with it. And eventually now, Russell the ball up towards the middle of the ground. No mark taken. Josh Turner just handballed up in the air. Eventually it ends with Murphy, who punts it back inside 50. Oh, big fly. No one comes down with it. And Church is at ground level. Dangerous handball to Johnson. He's in trouble, Johnson. He's almost all wrapped up. In fact, he is all wrapped up. And the umpire says holding the ball.
Dangerous policy handballing inboard, David, I would have thought. And certainly, as you say, it's come undone. And shooting for goal looks like Joey Collinson, is it?
It's actually James Iacono.
Sorry, number 9 it is. My eyesight's leaving me.
So,
important goal in the early stages of the second quarter.
Certainly is Gray. In comes Iacono. After a beautiful tackle, he kicks a beautiful set shot. And the Buffaloes extend.
Well, if they weren't in strife before, they're definitely in trouble now, Palmerston. They just can't get their game going. Every time they get near the ball, they're grabbed by a herd of buffaloes, and which means that they can't find targets. And in football, as you know, David, you've got to find your target, otherwise you're almost wasting your time being out there.
You certainly do, Gray, and at the moment, it's all the Buffaloes finding targets. 4-1-25, the Magpies one behind. So on the AFL NTV scoreboard, we're just getting that one up to date now. Palmerston one behind, and the Buffaloes 4-1-25 as we restart proceedings. Foster just punched it as far forward as he could, and eventually Charlton White got the clearing kick, only as far as Eldridge though. It's just backwards of centre wing. Kicks wide. Mark should have been taken there by Kerneth. Just dropped a mark he usually would have taken. Spills out of play. Boundary throw in at half forward.
He's very flat, the Magpies. I hope the players realise the importance of this particular game.
Yeah, they should. Cam Stokes, meantime, just did a little cartwheel. It allowed Kernoff to get onto the loose footy. Kicks to a dangerous spot. Iacono's got a goal to his name already, but this time Durkay does well, and the Magpies clear towards Davey. No mark taken. Emery now accelerates from the congestion. He wants Hamilton. Was stuck behind the pack, but the kick cleared McDowell. In the end, McDowell leads the chase back to the footy. Oh, he was very clean, and he came away with the footy and then kicked up towards Foster. He had a host of Magpies around him though, and now Shanahan was able to gather. Another good tackle there. Damaso's under pressure and dispossessed. The Buffaloes going forward through Josh Turner. Umpire says illegal delivery. No, free kick to Turner. Oh, sorry, to Josh Turner. Now what's going on here? Umpire saying not on the right line, Gray.
That's right. Bring it back. I'm in charge here, saying umpire Billy Mitchell. Mark Noonan in the middle there waving his arms around a bit too, so tiny bit of confusion.
Interesting. In fact, it's not going to be a free kick to Turner. It's going to go to Iacono, who hands off, and then Jordan Wilson King unloads, but it just drifts across the face.
The former Fremantle Doco, Jordan Wilson King, spent a couple of years down there on their rookie list.
4-2-26. The Buffaloes. Palmerston just the one behind on AFL NTV, and there's a free kick.
Here?
Jeez, he's just
unbelievable.
And it's going against Aaron Davies, so the umpire saying that he didn't move out of the square legally, and now a free kick. He's going to go to Foster, and I'm not sure what the free kick was for. Now 50. Now
these are the type of things that coaches pull their hair out on, David. Unbelievable. And Aaron Davey of all people.
Foster comes in and kicks the goal. And the Buffaloes
are really extending their margin. Palmerston at the moment, Gray, not playing like a football team that want to be playing finals.
Well, as I said, they've hit the ground as flat as tacks. Obviously, Mark Motlop has revved his team up in the rooms before the game. Probably something to do with David with 34 out of 40 tipsters going for the Magpies.
Wow.
I'd say Mark might have blown that particular piece of paper up, but yes, they're certainly on fire now.
31 points the margin, and it's all one-way traffic for the Buffaloes at the moment, but Brodie Bennett has other ideas. He sends the Magpies inside 50. Holt Tubbs with a good tackle, dispossessed his opponent, scooped it up to Cloak, who kicked a goal on the left foot. Is it going to be paid? Yes, it is. Yep. Buffaloes are furious that wasn't a free kick for a throw, but there's the first of the evening, and it was much needed. It went to Cameron Cloak.
Well, lo and behold, they've scored at last, but yeah, in somewhat controversial circumstances there. Looked like a scoop, but the umpire said that's good enough for me, and a bit of a relief there from the Magpies, but they're still, 25 points down, almost, more than 5 minutes into the second quarter, so.
It's interesting to see the way the Magpies set up, Gray. We mentioned on DK and Gray a couple of rounds ago when they played St Mary's, they kicked 11 goals and all of them were from set shot. And that seems to be the way they play. They look for Cloak every time, or Hamilton. They look for those big players to try and take a mark inside 50.
Yes, and on a day like this, probably not the best policy, really.
Russell, hands off. Aaron Davey towards Holt Tubbs. Almost took the chest mark. Coming through with good pace there to attack the footy is Battaglia, but couldn't quite pick it up. Sean Wilson, meantime, got the handball towards a running Jared Stokes. He tried to spin out of trouble, just about got out of trouble. Crowd wants holding the ball. Doesn't matter in the end. The Magpies win the footy. Some quick hands. Eventually it ends up towards Dylan Cooper. He couldn't quite trap it. Buffalo's out of trouble through Eric Campbell. Just wobbles a kick towards his namesake, Matt Campbell. Scrappy and close. The Magpies try to clear their end of the ground, and Jordan Wilson-King takes a mark and just tries to settle things down.
Gee, that half-back line of the guy you just mentioned then, Wilson-King, Sean Wilson, and the other guy, Dylan Gordon, certainly a brick wall.
Yeah, definitely. Meantime, Tilmouth Turner took a good mark, and Mark Hamilton almost took one himself at ground level like Kono. Keaton Holt Tubbs, just a little kick off the ground. Sean Wilson, and now Jordan Wilson-King, the distributor, has somehow managed to keep that in play. It looked like it was going straight out, but it bent back into play. Now Aaron Davey got the handball off. Church, was he held without it? The Palmerston fans think he was. The umpire doesn't, though, and a ball up the result, and a little bit of a scrap at ground level. Nothing too untoward. Just a little bit of pushing and shoving at this stage. Gray, 8 minutes into the second term. Free kick paid, though, and it goes to Joseph Collinson. The Buffs fans are happy.
Yes, well, they're the ones making the play, getting numbers around the ball, too. Very important on a day like this.
Collinson plays on, and then towards half-back. No one there, though. Charlton wide across half-back takes the mark. And wants to switch things to Emery. He's got a runner out wide, and they use him. So linking up now, the Magpies. Great handball there. Came from Shanahan. He can almost go all the way here. Pettigrew up towards Cloak. Good fist on it there. On the last line of defence came from Dylan Gordon. And it's pushed through for a minor score. Great running there from Pettigrew.
Yes, pretty average kick though for a guy who's played in the AFL. I thought he would have unloaded there from 50, but preferred to try and guide it through, and of course it dropped short.
What's going on here, Gray?
Free kick, and it looks like a 50 as well. Yes, bit of back chat. The umpires don't like you talking back to them, Dave. They never have, for some strange reason.
Renahan is going to be forced back to kick from the centre.
Magpies have lifted their intensity at last, but this free kick and 50 may bring all that crashing down around their ears.
So Renahan just sends it long, wants someone to fly. They all fly. Kernoth was probably the highest. Campbell weighted down.
kicked up towards the goal square. Oh, gathering the footy at ground level was Eldridge. He almost dribbled it home. Minus score. Hit the post.
33-8 after nearly 11 minutes of the second quarter.
Long kick out of defence towards Shanahan. Couldn't quite take the mark. Murphy, one way. Then back onto the right foot. Good kick. Finds Renahan. He was thinking about peeling off. Hamilton held him up on the mark. Good defence from him. And then went to Hamilton's opponent, McDowell, who sidestepped him. And then kicked towards the 50-metre mark. No mark taken, Foster. Eldridge. Good tackle from Johnson. Kernath got the handball off. Matt Campbell kicked on goal. Just a minus score.
Matt Campbell's got the right idea there, Dave. If you get a chance within 30 or 40, have a shot, because on a day like this, the opportunities aren't going to present themselves very often.
Well, the Buffaloes are still pressing. We've already had 5 scoring shots to 3 in this quarter in favour of the Buffaloes. And they've dominated possession, Gray. Magpies lucky that they've kicked 2 goals 3, really. They kick up towards Holt Tubbs. A couple of Buffaloes there. Woodley. And also Eldridge. And it spills out of play. Boundary throw in. AFL NTV action. If you've just joined us at quarter time, it was the Buffaloes leading by 3 goals, and they've extended that margin. Margin now sitting at 26 points.
Yes, wouldn't Coach Dan Rioli love to have a Leroy Jeter out there? He's of course out suspended still. Just need someone in the middle to try and generate some run.
It's a free kick inside 50 for the Buffaloes, so they're going to get another crack on it. They've had plenty of opportunities. 5 goals 4 they've kicked. And there have been 4 gettable opportunities, and now a chance for Jordan Brisbane coming up. Not sure what the free kick was for, Gray.
No, it may have been held, but for the Buffaloes, the end will justify the means.
Briston comes in, started it right, and it bent back perfectly. Jordan Briston bangs it through. The Buffaloes extend 32 margin on AFL NTV. The Double Blues are cruising at the moment.
Yes, playing pretty basic football too. Numbers of the ball. Players going past for the handball. Targets up forward, moving. Very good foot and hand passing. Everything going well for Mark Watlop's side.
Briston comes off for a spell.
And of course, many of us tipsters forgot, Dave, that they were very unlucky not to beat St Mary's last week.
Back in the middle of the ground, very true, Gray. 7 points the margin in the end, and they really were coming. Meantime, Alwyn Davey got it to Brodie Bennett. They need some momentum. He wants Hamilton to take the mark. Couldn't quite take it in front spot, and then the umpire's paid out of bounds on the full. It's come off Keaton Holt Tubbs' boot though, so Jordan Wilson King to take the mark, the kick.
Gee, this guy Murphy's knocked up getting touches too. Might have an Irish name, Dave, but he's playing like an Australian footballer.
Certainly is, and that's a good kick there from Lloyd Turner. He got it to Kernoth, who tried to keep on running. The bounce didn't come back to him. Durkay's there to corral him. Then Turner puts it inside 50. Foster was there. It came off hands. Ross couldn't quite trap it. Emery goes in very hard. Then he's claimed at ground level. Umpire calls for it immediately. Ball up. From the tap, Tilmouth Turner towards Emery.
Very uncertain now, the Magpies.
They are. Quick kick out of the pack. Magpies have numbers on the last line of defence though. And now the kick comes out. It's a good kick. It finds Brodie Bennett. Crowd wants 50. Eldridge, they're saying
just infringed that mark, and Bennett's kick was terrible. This is where both teams have come unstuck at different times today, Gray, but mainly it's been the Magpies that have come unstuck. Once again, that kick from Jordan Wilson-King is turned over. Tilmouth-Turner to Shanahan. What can they do here? Here's Russell. He runs on and takes the mark, and then his kick into space. He wants Hamilton to run onto it. McDowell for company, but Hamilton takes a good mark in the end.
But he's been forced wide, Dave. The Buffaloes forming a bit of a wall here across in the middle of the ground across half-back, and means the Magpies have to lead wide. And once again, a difficult shot here for Hamilton.
Well, to say your side needs a goal, once again, is another understatement, Gray. Hamilton took a good mark, and now he kicked a good goal from set shot. Beautiful work, Mark Hamilton. The Magpies needed that, and they need a few more.
Yes, a very deliberate shot, that one, and he made sure he popped it through, because I think I can feel the steam coming out of the Palmerston Cases box from here. And much of that would emanate from Dean Rioli. His boys are very flat, but we mustn't take anything away from the Buffaloes, Dave. They've got numbers of the ball. They're very, very intent and marking everything as well. And it must be like a piece of soap already, the football.
Margin back to 26 points on AFL NTV. Thanks very much for joining us wherever you're joining us around the world. Hope you're enjoying this one. The Buffaloes 26 points clear of the Magpies, but the Magpies have the last, and they have the clearance through Aaron Davey, the former Demon. His kick went only as far as Murphy, though, who went over the top. Iacono, who's a goal kicker today, his handball smothered by Davey, who's going to go straight off the ground for Davey. And it spills out of play. So a boundary throw in on centre wing. Foster tapped it down towards Campbell, who taps it in front of himself. Didn't quite take clean possession. Damaso gathered and then went around the corner. Oh, great one-handed mark taken Aaron Lonigan. Hands off immediately to Davey, who pumps it inside 50, wants Holt Tubbs to take the mark. He does. He takes a strong mark. Suddenly a little bit of momentum with the Magpies. Holt Tubbs, short and over the top. Cameron Cloak. So the Magpies, the build-up was good. And it started through one of their leaders, Aaron Davey, who was able to get a good smother on the Iacono handball. And then Aaron Davey went off the ground. Alwyn Davey came on. Lonigan took a good grab. And Alwyn Davey's distribution to Holt Tubbs was good.
So here we are. Another shot from big Cameron Cloak.
Comes in and he kicks another goal for the Magpies. They're starting to get a move on.
Well, they'd want to, Dave. 32 points down at one stage, now back to 20. Big Cloak looks like he's going to be the target all day.
Well, that's his second for the evening, Gray. The other goal kicker, Mark Hamilton. And as we know, they get their goals through their big men. They've all come from set shot today. Two of them have come from set shot. The first one to Hamilton the first one to Cloak, I should say, was a run on goal, but they get their goals through their big men.
Yes, a very, very deliberate approach to goals from the Magpies.
Little later, big bump in the centre, and then gathered the footy and got the handball off. No, the umpire says he didn't get the handball off, he got a throw off. So now Matt Campbell distributes wide. Sean Wilson didn't quite take the mark. Fumbled at an inopportune time. Was good enough though. And then a free kick further down the field, Jared Stokes. So Stokes, big fly there from Calvin Williams, hit the ground hard, straight back up though, Durkay to Church. And the Magpies out of trouble eventually. Holt Tubbs edged his opponent under the footy, and then he got Jordan Wilson-King high. So free kick to him.
right on centre wing, and now 50.
Yes, a bit of frustration there, creeping in for the Magpies. They did kick those 2 goals in a row, Dave, but Darwin, the Buffaloes have still got the general run of play, and this guy's been very, very, very good.
And this is going to be a 100-metre penalty, Gray. Not sure what the second 50 was for, but this is an unfortunate indictment on the competition up here that we see on too many occasions this happening, Gray.
Yes,
it's not good enough.
It is. It's very, very disappointing as Jordan King goes bang.
He does. Makes no mistake. The Buffaloes kick a goal. So suddenly the momentum is broken. The Buffaloes kick a goal at the other end. The margin's back out to 26 points. There's no real winner from this, Gray. No. Except the Buffaloes.
The Buffaloes, of course. Yes, whether there was the odd question asked there about why the first 50 metre was being paid, I don't know, but certainly I'd say that's why the second penalty was paid. A bit of over-enthusiastic questioning, perhaps.
No, I'm not sure, Graham.
In fact, I'm looking at Simon Walker, the umpire, seems to be writing something in his notebook there. So
it's not good enough, Gray. It's not good enough from, I don't know, not being out there. It's difficult to say, you know, whether it's umpires overreacting or whether it's players. All I know is that it's not good for our spectators watching the game. Meantime, the Magpies go inside 50. Mark Hamilton takes a mark, and maybe the Magpies might get away with an instant reply.
Yes, very nice mark there. It's a very strong mark by Hamilton. Yes, as for the subject of 50-metre penalties, there does seem to be a lot being paid. I know that's one of the subjects that will come up at the post-season review that was announced on Friday.
We'll have a chat after the kick about that. Mark Hamilton needs to kick the goal, and he does. So margin back to 20 points. The Magpies get the instant response. 4-2-26. They trail the Buffaloes 7-4-46. 22 and a half minutes gone. Second term, and we go back to the subject of 50-metre penalties quickly, Gray. We talk about the conference, as you suggested, or the summit, or whatever we want to call it, the discussion that was announced on Friday.
Internal review, yeah, will happen in late April, early May, according to operating manager Stephen Nugent. Umpiring won't be the only subject brought up, Dave. I think it'll be a very intense few days in the hallowed offices of the AFLNT.
Well, I think it's something that the competition deserves, and it'll be a good opportunity for everyone to voice their opinions, their concerns, their views, and their vision for the competition. Aaron Davey, meantime, puts it inside 50. Cameron Cloak just slid over the footy, and Dylan Gordon cleared the congestion up towards Irving. He's under pressure. He's dispossessed. He's gone.
Good tackling.
Tillmouth Turner. The Magpies are building. Here's Luke Cameron. Kicks inside 50. I should say Toby Cameron. It wasn't a great kick. And Woodley spins his way out of trouble, then kicks up towards Jared Stokes in the middle of the ground. It clears him. Aaron Davey was waiting at the back. Oh, big pressure coming on the Magpies here, but they're good enough at this stage. Church got it off, and now they move it up towards Keaton Holt-Tubbs. He wants to play on a meet. The margin's under 20 points. It's 19 points now. The Magpies just surging at the moment. Little tap there, and the umpires, in fact, paid a free kick to the Magpies.
Bit of over-enthusiastic tackling there by Darwin. They would have looked at the clock and saw 25 minutes gone. Can the Magpies get a late one?
Well, they'll certainly be hoping they can, and no doubt their coach will be. Hands off, Emery from 60 metres out. Can they find a mark? It comes off hands, no mark taken. Another rush behind. 28 points the difference. 18 points the difference, I should say. Great. Almost 26 minutes gone. 4-4-28 the Magpies. 7-4-46 the Buffaloes. And even 3 goals as McDowell goes short to Wilson. And then short again.
Yep, playing down Foster. The clock a little bit here, Darwin, I think.
Foster wanted Irving to run onto it. He did well in the end, and then the kick was not great. But Taglia set the task of retrieving it for the Magpies. There's a free kick though, and it's going against Emery. So free kick to Jared Stokes. He's about 80 metres out from his defensive line. 26 and a half minutes gone. Second term, there can't be long before half-time. Margin 3 goals in favour of the Buffaloes. Kernoff knocked it down. Church was very clean in close, did well. Got it to Brodie Bennett. The Magpies can come away through Shanahan. He wants to go over the top to Emery. Wilson did well, got a fist on it there. But in the end, Magpies have numbers. Emery up towards half-forward, wants Cloak to run onto it. Gathers on the bounce. Forced onto his right, then Pierce Little, a little up and under towards the hot spot. Hamilton very nearly. McDowell saves today, and that's half time. Well, the second term started to really lift in intensity. The Magpies back in this game, just 3 goals in it at half time on AFL NTV. It's the Buffaloes 7-4-46 leading the Magpies 4-4-28. Plenty more action on AFL NTV on the backside of this break. Stick with us, we'll be back soon.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TAO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
What did he say? He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
Hello, Dave Kennedy from AFL NTV with your insight into the Premier League. St Mary's are still on top of the ladder, and there's a top-of-the-table clash on Sunday. St Mary's taking on Nightcliff, who sit in second position. Districts have consolidated third spot. Wanderers move into fourth, and the Bombers make up the 5. The Magpies, Buffaloes and Waratah are the teams outside the 5 at the moment. Matthias Liddy is the new leader in the goal-kicking stakes after bagging 7 on the weekend. He's 2 clear of Darren Ewing. Then Willie Farah, Thomas Motlop and Gibson Turner round out the top 5.
And I'm Ruby. footy. We want to let you know that registrations for junior football are now open.
Grab your friends and sign up to play our game.
We play footy because we love it. To join your local club, visit playafl.com.au.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory are committed to providing a safe environment for all patrons. To report any antisocial behaviour, text the issue and your location to 0498 062 213. Please note, responses cannot be sent.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
What did he say? He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, Marara, where the Buffaloes hold a 3-goal lead over the Magpies. 7-4-46, they lead the Magpies 4-4-28 in a half that saw some interesting things, Gray. We saw a 100-metre penalty result in a Buffaloes goal. The Magpies responded. We'll quickly go through those goal kickers. Cameron Cloak, 2 for the Magpies, the other 2 going to Mark Hamilton. So very much a top-heavy bias there for the Magpies, while for the Buffaloes, 2 goals to Calvin Williams, both in the first term, and then singles to James Iacono, Brendan Murphy, Jordan Briston, Jordan Wilson-King and Will Foster. And Magpies are in their defensive 50 already. High contact free kick. You might have been able to hear the dulcet tones there of umpire Walker as the free kick goes to Damaso inside his defensive 50. Gray Morris joins me on AFL NTV. Always a pleasure to call with this great man, Gray Morris, and the game hasn't been too flash thus far, but I'm sure that if it stays close, we should have a good contest.
Yeah, pretty dour struggle this one, Dave. Lot up for stakes for both sides. Certainly a win here for either side will be very greatly appreciated.
Free kick.
Crowd's starting to get into the game too, Dave. I think they realise the consequences as well.
And 4 really high-drawing sides here. The Buffaloes, Palmerston, Wanderers and Tiwi, all of them can pull a crowd. And at the moment, the crowd is certainly swelling. So are the Magpies. Here's Daniel Russell. He's had a lot of the footy across half-back. Now he's sending the Magpies inside 50. It was a real wobbly kick, but Pierce Little read it well, ran in, and he kicked a goal for the Magpies. They kicked the first of the second half through Pierce Little, their inspirational captain.
Yes, worked it well there, but a very nice kick too from Big Daniel there. Rather than go long and high, he had put in a skidder that actually scud into the arms of a running Pierce Little. Gave him plenty of time to look up, size up the goals and pop it through.
Well, it's an important goal in the context of this match, Gray. It gives the black and white some momentum moving forward, and it also reduces the margin. Just 2 goals in it. We haven't seen the margin this low since the first term, Gray.
12 points, yes.
And now we're about to restart. 2 minutes into the third term, where the Magpies have reduced it to just 12 points. Davey just went off the ground. Cam Stokes was able to get a hand on it, though. Still in dispute. The umpire letting things play out, and eventually Will Foster comes away with it. Kicks in hope more than anything. Kernoth almost ran onto it. Irving needed to be clean, couldn't quite pick it up. Spills out there towards Josh Turner, then Will Foster, then Kernoth, centering ball. Daniel Russell came off hands to Collinson, though. He just put it inside 50, hoping for Campbell. Was that in the back? Umpire said no, play on. Handball out there came from Bevan Charlton White. Intercepted, though. Sean Wilson had a shot on goal, and it went across the face to the left-hand side. Minus scored the Buffaloes. 13 points the margin, 3 minutes gone, third term.
Of course, the longer this game goes, David, both sides wearing black shorts and black Guernseys. Getting very, very hard to pick the difference.
About time that we put the lights on here as well, I reckon, Gray. That kick wasn't great from Emery. It's intercepted. Kernoth took the mark in front of Charlton White. And it's going to be a shot on goal for the Centralian, Tosh Kernoth.
Yes, as you said earlier in the call, David, another Centralian. They're enjoying the 1,500-kilometre drive to Darwin, I'm sure.
And he might just be enjoying a goal, not quite. Just misses. So a couple of misses for the Buffaloes at this end of the ground. 7-6, plays 5-4, 14 points the margin. Third term, almost 4 minutes gone on AFL NTV. Hashtag AFL NTV if you want to join in the conversation, Gray.
Yes, in regard to the lights, might be an idea to jump. You've got a line there to Michael Barfoot, haven't you?
I might have to test it out.
Yeah.
Meantime, Bevan Charlton White sent it towards Mark Hamilton. It came off hands, though. Brendan Murphy mops up. He's been very good today, Murphy. Got it to Sean Wilson. Over the top once again to Eldridge. And then it comes unstuck. Daniel Russell, another man that's been very good.
Just going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth then, David. And that's a song, isn't it?
It is. Who sung that? Meatloaf.
I think it might have been.
He
way back in the 1970s when you weren't even born.
He's not that well liked in football circles after his grand final appearance, Gray.
Yes, the Meatloaf. He, one of his worst efforts, I'm sure.
Meantime, footy match still going on here. And the Buffaloes are going forward. 2 against 1. Campbell outnumbered, but he still might get a crack at it. He tries to palm off his opponent. Lost possession of the footy in the interim, and it spills out of play. Boundary throw in.
Bit more intensity from both sides here, particularly Palmerston, but they still can't find a direct avenue to goal with those big fellows down there.
In dispute at half forward for the Buffaloes, who lead this one by 14 points. The mess converge on the footy, and the umpire calls for reason. Hashtag AFLNTV. Let us know. Send us a picture where you're watching from. Let us know your thoughts on the match so far. High up and under kick there, no good. It's going to go out of bounds on the full. That might have come. Not 100% sure who that came from.
I think it was number 9.
Might have been Icono, yeah.
Icono.
So Church clears the danger zone. No mark taken by either side. It spills out of play. Another boundary throw in, about 60 out from the Buffaloes' goals.
Mark Butlop's gone for an undersized forward line there. He's got Matty Campbell at full forward and a couple of other small guys around him. Although Kelvin Williams now dropping back into a forward pocket.
Yeah, big matchup that. Williams and Pettigrew. The ball was almost going to go in that direction, but a good smother prevented that from happening. Meantime, the Magpies, good pressure at the stoppage. Eventually it ends with Emery. Sells a bit of candy and gets around Collinson, and then he pumps it long to half back, to half forward. It comes off hands. Shot on goal, bending, not quite enough though. Toby Cameron's kick just goes across the face. A minor score to the Magpies. The transition was quick though, and it looked reasonably good, Gray.
It did. Unfortunately, I think he had more time than he thought then, that guy from the Magpies. Who was?
Toby Cameron.
Toby Cameron.
Good kick out, finds Jared Stokes. Took the mark above his head. And now he kicks a high ball himself. Wants Foster to fly. Second grab almost. Spills down to Pierce Little. He had the footy taken away from him though, and Foster the big fella was accelerating away. He still might get another chance here, Foster. The kick from Irving, umpire saying it didn't travel the required distance. Maybe a little bit unlucky. Meantime, Charlton White's all wrapped up, and the umpire said, "You had prior opportunity, mate," holding the ball.
Gee, not the first time he's been caught between the devil and the deep blue sea there, Mr. Charlton White. This might prove to be very costly, Dave.
I'm not convinced that's Charlton White, but that's the name on our team sheet. So it's inside 50 for the Buffaloes. Collinson. It was a handball in hope more than anything. Durkay at ground level. They all run in on the footy. This could be holding the ball. No, umpire says ball up inside the goal square for the Buffaloes. Magpies, of course, got to be careful not to force it through deliberately here. Unopposed, Russell went up at ground level. Pierce Little won the footy, and the Magpies win the clearance. Good mark is taken, and they keep on running. The kick over the top there came from Cooper in the Cameron direction. Murphy got a fist on it and forced it out of play. And once again, we see Brendan Murphy having an influence on this one, Gray.
Yes, he's probably been their most consistent player, and that's a good rap too, because the whole Darwin side has played very well.
Back into play. Holt Tubbs won the tap down. Lonigan through traffic, brought to a standstill. Eventually it spills out. Hamilton. Stokes claimed him, and then Aldridge mops up, kicks wide. Foot race here. Kernoth and Damaso. Ball clears both of them. Damaso has to be clean here. He is. He gathers. He goes around the corner to Emery. That was clever play there from Jamie Damaso, and that was also clever from Emery. ducked under the tackle and then kicked up towards Cloak. Gordon pursues him. Cloak puts it on the boot towards Hamilton. Murphy corrals him. Back inboard. Tap over the top. Cooper tries to get around a few. Can't quite. Bit off more than he could chew. And a Buffalo's free kick inside defensive 50.
This guy's been very good too. McDowell hasn't given much away. He's been on Hamilton most of the day.
High kick, Russell flies from behind. Eldridge just read the play perfectly and pounced on the loose footy. Second bounce, goes over the top. The Buffaloes working this one well. Where are they going to go now, though? That's the question. Back inboard. The mark is taken and they accelerate away. The kick up towards Campbell. Just bounces a couple of metres in front of himself. He did very well. Eldridge kept on running and that is reward for effort.
Your goal, Matt Campbell. Beautiful handball.
The kick in board there came from Jordan Briston, who's got a goal to himself, and then, as you said, a stealth handball, Gray, from Matt Campbell. Tim Eldridge kept on running and he banged it through.
Yes, so some breathing space again for the Magpies on what is turning out to be a tough assignment for them. Once again, I'd say they'd love to have that number 9, the former Essendon player Leroy Jeter out there. They just need a general in the middle. Elwyn Davies seems down a bit on past weeks. He's doing a little bit, but...
Back in the middle of the ground. Advantage Buffaloes once again. 19 points the margin. 11 minutes gone in the third term. Russell wins the tap and just punches it as far forward as he can, unopposed. Sean Wilson, his handball was intercepted though. Shanahan, wobbly kick up towards the half-forward line. Hamilton, McDowell claims him. He's been like a glove today, Thomas McDowell. Then he goes in and wins his own footy. Got the handball towards Gordon, but Brodie Bennett intercepted. Back towards Holt Tubbs. Icono puts his head over the footy. The Buffaloes work it out of play in the end, and the ball ends in the hands of Eric Campbell.
They can't find any room, the Magpies, Dave. Every time they get the ball, they're confronted by 2 or 3 double blue jumpers.
Back into play. Icono over the footy. Now another ball up. Right on the 50 paintwork for the Buffaloes. Murphy got the clearing kick. Bouncing ball. Good tackle there. Coming on Bill Irving. Eventually the Buffaloes win it forward. But only as far there as Damaso. Had to get rid of it under pressure. Went in board. No mark taken. Renahan finds space. Little came straight off the bench. Didn't get to him in time though. But did enough to affect the kick. Pettigrew takes the mark on his defensive 50 line. And he wants to switch play wide for the Magpies here. Charlton White. He goes wider still to Shanahan, who has the proverbial paddock to work with. He touches the footy on the ground, then forced to kick after his space was corralled. Coming into the space there, almost taking the mark, was Trey Kelton. Spills out though, Josh Turner. Pushed as he kicked it. High Turnoff flies and takes the mark uncontested in the end.
Yes, they're working very hard, the Buffaloes. They're making sure that every kick the Magpies do get is contested. I think that's very important.
Now Lloyd Turner went down the boundary line and Jamie Damaso dropped a mark he should have taken and it spilled out of play. Boundary throw in, right in front of our commentary position, Gray.
Yes, I wish I could see the Palmerston coaches box from here, Dave. I reckon there'll be a few questions being asked there. This game getting away from them.
It is. 19 points the margin. If the Buffaloes kick the next goal, you feel that 25 points is just such a hard ask. That's a huge punch that came from Daniel Russell. He gains 10-15 metres in territory, Gray, and it goes out of bounds. Another stoppage is the result.
Only his second league game with Daniel Russell. He played 3 or 4 in Div 1, and I spoke to Dean Rioli about him during the week. I thought they'd give him a run in the Premier League last week, and he was very, very good.
I reckon he's been really good today, Gray. That's a great story that someone's come through Division 1. Palmerston haven't had a good season in Division 1, nor the Buffaloes haven't had a good 5 seasons or so in Division 1. So it's good to see that there are some players still coming through. And
still coming through the old reserves.
Yeah, I think that Daniel Russell's been exceptional today for the Magpies. He's cut off a lot of ball. His disposal hasn't been that great, but you can't expect too much from big fellas. Meantime, Emery, inside 50, short measured pass, finds Holt Tubbs, and the Magpies will go back.
Holt Tubbs has flashed in and out a bit too. They need a bit more from him up forward. Hopefully he can respond by kicking this goal, and perhaps even waving to the broadcasting box after, Dave, to say, Mr. Morris, I've done my job.
Prove you wrong.
Yes, he's lining up, young Kieran. With your hair done up in a bun too, like most players today.
Yeah, that's the trend of the day.
Keaton, of course. Yeah.
The trend of the day has also been the Buffaloes, but this could stem the trend. Just goes across the face. In the end, a minus score. Kick really faded late, and just a minus score. 5-6-36. Margin back to an even 3 goals. The Buffaloes 8-6-54. They're just playing around with it inside defensive 50. Sean Wilson. Really like the way he goes about his footy, Sean Wilson, Gray, when he's got his mind to it.
Very efficient with his ball use, isn't he? He's another guy with his hair tied up in a bun.
Calvin Williams, short. Eric Campbell on the far side of the ground. Now another short one. Wanted Briston. They all come to affect it though. And there might be a free kick for contact below the knees here. Irving's going to take the free kick. Goes with the short handball to Murphy. Mark taking Eldridge. Magpies try to shark this one. Charlton White over the top. Justin Emery. He kicks long. The 2 twin towers are there. None of them are able to catch it. Hamilton leads the chase back. He almost spun his way around, but not quite. Brilliant defence from the Buffaloes. Dylan Gordon, I think it might have been. And it's rushed through for a behind. They don't muck around bringing it back in either. Josh Turner, close to the boundary line. Now he's under pressure. Woodley needs to be clean. It's a dangerous kick. They need to find a mark. Was that a free kick for in the back? Umpire says no. Play on. Charlton White tried to go backwards to Durkay, who wasn't quite ready for it. He runs himself into trouble. Did well to get the handball off. Brodie Bennett inside 50. Elwyn Davey can't quite trap it. Eldridge to contend with. Gets around him. Kicks up to the hot spot. Good fist comes over the top there from Briston. Forced through for a behind. Minus score, the result. A couple of frenetic behinds there for the Magpies, Gray.
Desperate defence there by Darwin. They really want to win this game. The Magpies cannot find a goal. They cannot buy a goal.
5-8-38. Plays 8-4-52. Margin is just 14 points as Jared Stokes accelerates away, and he wants to switch play out towards Eric Campbell, who takes the mark. Needs players to lead up towards him. Instead, he goes in board, and Russell. Geez, he's been good, Gray. They got to look in the reserves more often. He kicks inside 50. Can't find anyone. Cloak lays the tackle. What can he do at ground level? It spills out towards Hamilton. Clears him. Aaron Davey onto the loose footy. Oh, the Magpies are back in town, Gray.
Yes, Aaron Davey. You can switch the clock back about 8 years to when he wore a red and blue jumper then. And banged it true.
6-8-44. The Magpies. 8-6-54 the Buffaloes. The margin is just 10 points on AFL NTV. Make sure you tell your mates that this game's really heating up. The Magpies are playing for a finals berth, as are the Buffaloes. And this is a virtual final, Gray.
It is. Any flickering final flame will be gone for the Buffaloes if they drop this one. And Palmerston, well, they're going to be in real trouble if they lose this.
18 minutes gone. There's still time for both teams to score. Not from this particular phase of play, because that's brought to a standstill. Joey Collinson at the bottom of that pack, and a ball up the result. Russell wins the ruck contest. It spills down there towards Kelton. Taps it out. And the Magpies are going to go forward once again through the previous goal kicker, Aaron Davey to Elwyn Davey. What can he do with it? He kicks up towards Hamilton. Good fist comes in from behind. Emery weighted down, ran into trouble, got the handball out. Hamilton tries to go in again. McDowell got the clearing handball to Sean Wilson. He runs his way through traffic, did well. Murphy takes the mark at half back, and the Buffaloes can steady and spread.
Wilson been terrific.
Certainly has got.
Buffaloes. Repelled many forward thrusts there by. That's an unusual handball. The umpire didn't pick it up.
Now,
the throw.
Alec Johnson taken out.
Certainly heating up, Dave. I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
Well, will anyone be able to score before three-quarter time? That's the question at the moment. Momentum is with the Magpies. Eldridge, can he gather? Not quite. Spills out to Shanahan. And now Kelton. And then Cooper got the clearing kick. It bounces towards their attacking 50 there, but Jordan Wilson-King there to wrap things up for the Buffaloes. And the umpire has pinged him here. Maybe a little bit stiff there. Emery gets the free kick. Cloak leads into the space. Hamilton leads back towards goal. Emery's got a booming left foot kick. He's in a couple of minds here. He might be forced to kick over the man on the mark, or he might go around and then unlaunch from 50 metres out. Didn't quite get there.
Yes, he's just kicked the NT News point of the night there.
Unlaunch. I think that's a new word, Gray. Halfway between launch and unload. Unlaunch.
But you're right, he did most things right then, Justin, but unfortunately he couldn't get the hook he was looking for.
He did most things right. I did everything wrong as a commentator. Meantime, the Buffaloes bring it out towards McDowell. Russell brought it to ground level though. Spills down towards Cooper. Short little kick. Emery again. Back to Cooper. Oh, big bump there on Eric Campbell. Managed to get the handball off though. Then Battaglia around the corner. Oh, the margin is back to less than one kick. The Magpies are right back in this.
Battaglia, what an opportunist goal that was. He knew they were to his left there somewhere, Dave, and just swayed and hooked over his shoulder. Almost like Timmy Cale's goal for Australia the other day in the Asia Cup, except that this is the oval-shaped ball. Yes, so what's that now? What is the difference? 3 points.
Just 3 points on AFL NTV. So the Buffaloes 8-6-54. The Magpies 7-9-51. 3 points is the margin, Gray, courtesy of that goal from Tristan Battaglia.
Remembering that the last time these two sides played was a draw too, Dave, so we might have another one.
Who knows? Still a quarter and a bit to play out yet, and the Magpies could be in front at three-quarter time if we keep going like this. There's a free kick to Collinson.
Remembering they were 32 points down early in the second quarter, the Magpies.
Up towards Kurnoth, but at the back, a good strong mark taken by Charlton White. He can go short to Russell. Ignores that option. Now he goes there. He takes the mark. And the big fella is going to go down the line.
In the Royal Australian Army, Dave, which probably explains his aerobic fitness out there. He's running like the game's only just began. Is Mr. Daniel Russell.
There he is again. He pops up at the clearance. Won the tap down towards Collinson. And we're all locked up once again. Another ball up just forward of centre wing for the Magpies, who are closing in on the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes have been wounded in this third quarter. What can they respond with? Their season's on the line. Mathematically, they can't make the finals if they lose today, Gray.
Well, that was an ordinary tackle there by Elwyn Davey. Just threw an arm up and collected Eldridge on the top of the scone. He's been very good too, young Timmy. Again.
He's been a real revelation, I feel, this season. Really lifted his football to another level. Pettigrew to Johnson. Down the wing. Collinson did well to get a fist on that one from behind and then take it out of play. Good defence from Joe Collinson. Taking the ball away there from Shanahan. Just looking at John Patterson, the coach. The president, I should say, of the Buffaloes. He looks on with eager anticipation. This game and, of course, the season for the Buffaloes really on the line in the next few minutes as Jared Stokes, he's the barometer for the Buffaloes. The barometer just hit rock bottom and got pinged holding the ball.
Terrific tackle there by young Holt Tubbs.
There's a siren. Well, at halftime, they were 3 goals down. The Magpies have reduced it to just 3 points on AFL NTV. A ripping last quarter of footy coming up. Make sure you stick with us. It's the Buffaloes by 3 points. Will they hold on and keep their finals chances alive, or will the Magpies outrun them in the last quarter? Find out after this short break on AFL NTV.
After a hard day's work, you deserve it. When you're catching up with mates, you deserve it. Grabbing a bite with the missus, you deserve it. But drive after a few, you deserve it. A road safety message from TIO.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
For Territorians, the roads are more than bitumen. They connect us. For TIO, it's the same. For taking us on safe journeys, for travelling free, for twists and turns, for turning the corner, for taking you back to health. Road safety for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Stop heat stress before it starts. Geminex has a wide range of hydration products, including camelbacks and cooling vests, air skis and coolers, rehydration drinks and accessories, all designed to ensure your safety in the sun. For a limited time, purchase a box of 20 Squincher 3.8 litre powder concentrate sachets and receive 2 3.8 litre coolers absolutely free while stocks last. Rehydrate, restore and recharge at Geminex, Winnelli and Pinelands.
What did he say? He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right. shot's tricky.
Desperate last quarter of footy coming up for both sides with a finals berth on the line, and we're away and underway in this final quarter. Interesting ruck choice for the Buffaloes to start off. We whack Ross in against big Daniel Russell, who's had plenty of it. Alwyn Davey wins the first kick of the quarter, and he Aaron, who goes inside 50. Hamilton gathers on the bounce, gives it off to a running Aaron Lonigan. Centering kick is perfect. Cloak takes the mark, and he'll go back to put the Magpies in front.
Well, if you had a manual, Dave, you'd replay that to your players every Tuesday night at training. Down the flank, a handball to a play going past, and of course exchange the ball then to front and centre, and who's there but a sliding Cameron Cloak. Terrific play by the Magpies. But he needs to convert. That's the important one.
He does. He's got a very rigid and structured set shot routine. Great. And in he comes to put the Magpies in front. He does. Cameron Cloak bangs it through, and suddenly it's the Magpies by 3 points.
Yes, very prepared kick that Cameron. He knew the importance of it. To hit the front early in the first quarter will give these players a big shot on the arm as far as confidence goes. And Darwin will be wondering what they have to do after leading by 5 goals midway through term 2.
Well, that makes him the dominant goal kicker on the ground, Gray. He's got 3 today, 2 in the second term, and 1 in the fourth and final term, I should say. All of his goals have gone to the McMillans Road end of the ground, and now it is the Magpies in front from the restart. There's a whistle and a free kick. It's going to go to the Magpies once again. It's going to go to Pierce Little this time.
Had to be very careful handing the ball back then, Tim Eldridge. If he had to run a little bit further, he might have given a 50 away.
Kick wasn't great, didn't really find anyone. Magpies go forward off the ground. Murphy, he's upended. Suddenly the tackling is fierce from the Magpies. Brodie Bennett to Alwyn Davey. Was he held without it? Umpire says no. Lloyd Turner tracks the footy back and then just throws it on the boot towards Collinson, who takes a good mark. Well judged mark.
Yes, they've kicked, what is that, Dave? They must have kicked 8 of the last 10 goals.
Icono, fancy footwork on the far side. And he's going to go short to Collinson. So Collinson is away. Left foot kick up towards half forward. Durkay did well to get a fist on it, but Foster weighted down. Handed off to Eldridge. Threw it on the boot, and the Buffaloes are back in front.
Beautiful goal by Timmy Eldridge. And a very neat little handball into the play going past, which set him up on the way to goal. So you're right, make the Buffaloes back in front after the Buffaloes had dominated the early exchanges, Dave.
Oh, it's really ebbing and flowing here. Just 3 points in it. It's the three-quarter time margin, Gray, and it's the Buffaloes that are back in front after goals at either end, a goal to Cloak and now a goal to Eldridge. And the game ebbs in the balance at the moment.
The legs of both players on both sides must be getting heavy. It's pretty tough-looking conditions out there.
So back in the middle of the ground. Foster against Russell. Russell wins the tap down. Cameron Stokes tracks the ball back. Now Ross off the ground. It, in fact, favoured the Magpies more than anyone. Lloyd Turner and then Jordan Wilson-King off the ground. The umpire's going to call that an infringement for kicking in danger. And Aaron Lonigan is going to be the recipient of the free kick.
Very good, Dave. I was just looking at the umpire then. If he had given a 50-metre away then, because I know there was a very earnest discussion.
Aaron Lonigan got pretty close to the man on the mark and then put it across the face to the right-hand side. Minus score, 2 points the margin now. Remembering, of course, Gray, that these two sides have played a draw in their previous encounter.
Yes, I mentioned that the last quarter. Will we have another one, the third for the season? Every game involving
Palmerston, yeah. They're prone to the draw this season.
Yes, the drawing Magpies, and they've drawn a pretty good crowd here tonight. Did you look around TIO?
There is, and of course, if you're watching at the moment, make sure you stick around on AFL NTV later this evening. Wanderers versus Tiwi, another game that is sure to thrill and entertain, just like Aaron Davey and that handball to Brodie Bennett. He goes one further to Holt Tubbs. That's where it came unstuck. Stokes is still under pressure, though, and he concedes from 10 metres out. Umpire Noonan not entertaining the thought there of a rush behind, or a deliberate rush behind. Gee. And now the margin just 1 point.
Gee, that rule's got some very shady areas, hasn't it? When players handball through for a goal from the goal square, you think, what was the rule brought in for in the first place?
Interesting. Now Elwyn Davey to Aaron Davey. The Davey boys combine. And then a kick. Hamilton very nearly. Lonigan weighed it down and he kicked across the face. A minor score, but that levels things up on AFL NTV. We are all square, 60 apiece. It's 9-6-60 the Buffaloes. The Magpies, 8-12-60. And this is exactly where we finished the last time, Gray.
Yes, one more point each and they would still be level. So I've just had a text message from our fellow commentator Dale Fletcher, watching the game with his dad.
Great to see that Fletch is online and watching. Meantime, it's Weewack Ross that sharks the footy. He goes towards Foster. Very nearly took the mark. Then it comes off hands. DeMazzo towards Church. He's got a little bit of time to work with. Then he's got to get around Kernoff. Handballed it out. DeMazzo can't quite gather. It's close to the line. Once again, DeMazzo. Hands off towards Charlton White, who's claimed, and another ball up inside 50 for the Magpies.
Desperation stakes, isn't it?
For the Buffaloes, I should say, Gray.
Desperation, both sides exhausted here. 4 premiership points up for grabs.
Foster rucks against Russell. Here's Jared Stokes. What can he do? Left foot kick inside 50, but it's cut off by Pettigrew inside his defensive 50, and he's not in any hurry.
Yes, he wouldn't be in a hurry either, but he'll have to, because otherwise they're only going to get 2 premiership points. I'm sure they want 4. 2 points for a draw, of course.
Shorten finds Shanahan, who goes inside to Alex Johnson once again. Johnson, hands off. Back to Shanahan, who goes wide. Brodie Bennett takes the mark. So now Bennett down the line. No mark taken. It's just dribbling towards the boundary line, and eventually it spills out of play. Little and Murphy see it out. Boundary throw in just backwards of centre wing for the Buffaloes. Hashtag AFL NTV. Join in the conversation. We know we've got Dale Fletcher on board watching. I'm sure we've got plenty more viewers out there. Let us know where you're watching from. Cam Stokes. Is that holding the ball? Umpire says no. Play on. The Buffaloes
Move it forward though. Irving to Icono. Spins almost out of trouble. And then it spills out of play. There's a free kick for high contact though.
Gee, there wasn't a lot in that.
And it's going to be a free kick. Who's it going to? What do we got going on here, Great? Looks like another report.
Yes, I'll take some back chat there from something about umpire abuse. I think we'll see on Monday. Which, although there would have been a 50-metre penalty paid, wouldn't there? In the event of report. In fact, I think didn't a 50-metre penalty go with a report?
Not anymore, Gray, but there's just not really sure what's going on at the moment. Anyway, we'll continue. Irving kicks inside 50. No mark taken. Campbell at ground level. Spills out of play in front of Icono. Boundary throw in. The Buffaloes and Palmerston cannot be separated at the moment. 9-6 plays 8-12. It's 60 apiece on AFL NTV, and it's brought back into play. No one able to gather clear possession until Weewack Ross finds a way through, has a shot on goal. It dribbles towards the boundary line and it hits the boundary post, and we'll have a boundary throw in, still inside 50 for the Buffaloes. Back into play. What can they muster? It comes off hands. Good work there. Pettigrew got the handball off Tillmouth Turner. Magpies out of trouble at least momentarily. Little one off the ground there from Charlton White. Collinson pursues him towards the boundary line. It spills out of play. Boundary throw in about 70 metres out from the Buffaloes' goals. 60 plays 60, 10.5 minutes gone. We've already had a draw on AFL NTV with these two exact teams. And of course, Wanderers and Tiwi coming up after this. Make sure you stick around. Eldridge gives it don't argue. Kicks up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. What can the Magpies do in defence? Work it out to Brodie Bennett. And then to Durkay. And now the Magpies are away. Durkay has running room. He takes a bounce. He takes another bounce. Plenty of room for Lachlan Durkay to kick towards Hamilton. Great work from McDowell, though. Got in front and fisted it out of play. The boundary throw, in fact, that's Woodley that, with that great defensive effort, punches it out of play. Boundary throw in at half forward for the Magpies.
Been very good all day, the Buffalo defence. They've stuck like glue to their opponents, as you said earlier, Dave. Tarzan's grip almost.
Weewack Ross. Challenged heavily there by Little, who just throws himself at the footy. You've got to love his intensity, Gray.
Unbelievable. Would have the highest injury rate, I'd say, in the NTFL, Pearce, and for that very reason, throws himself into the play. Terrific competitor and a magnificent captain out there at Palmerston.
Russell taps it down to Davey. Quick hands. Oh, Battaglia made an absolute mess of that one. Out of bounds on the full. And the scores don't change. It's still 60 apiece on AFL NTV.
High, wide and not very handsome, was it?
Terrible kick. What can Eldridge do with the free kick? He's forced to go down the line. Murphy flies from behind. Russell got front position. Calvin Williams. Handball was sharked there by Battaglia. Williams goes in again. Almost had his jumper ripped off him. Murphy handballs back to Campbell. Clever footwork. He ran into Battaglia though. Then Campbell put his head over the footy once again. Jared Stokes close to the boundary line. Dangerous handball back in board. And then Eldridge taken high by Emery. Emery stands there and pleads his case, saying he was stationary. Umpire Noonan not indulging on his excuse, and then it's forced out of play. In fact, free kick for chopping the arms, so it's going to go there to Irving. What do you make of that, Gray?
You know, we've got a low-scoring, tough, physical game of football, and they play a technical free kick.
Boundary throw in. The Buffs only gained 20 metres in territory. The crowd is really getting involved in this one. Now it's 60 apiece. They haven't been split. You can see the beautiful red clouds in the background there. The sun setting on TIO here at Marara, and it's all locked up. Collinson tried to get the handball to Stokes, who left it behind, and out of play once again. The territorial arm wrestle continues. The Buffaloes move it towards their attacking 50. Can they find a score? That's the question.
Pink sky at night is a shepherd's delight, but it's the sun setting on the Buffaloes.
That's the million-dollar question at the moment, Gray. What can they manage here? They can't find a score. Palmerston out of defence. Only as far as Dylan Gordon, though. Lost his footing. Then he regained them. Then he kicked it inside 50. Can the Buffaloes find a mark? No, they can't. Little tried to go off the ground. Collinson spun out of trouble and then snapped a goal. The Buffaloes are now a goal clear. Joseph Collinson, he's been the hero before. Maybe again tonight.
Opportunist goal, wasn't it? There wasn't much room to move there for Joey, but he knew the goals were there. He just swung onto his left foot. In fact, flung himself over in the process, but most importantly for Buffaloes, it went through. A 6-point lead.
Advantage to the double Blues now, Gray. 15 minutes gone almost in the final term here on AFL NTV, and it's the Buffaloes clear by 6 points. 10-6-66. The Magpies 8-12-60.
Yes, 10-66, the Battle of Hastings.
Certainly was, and might be a winning score tonight, Gray. As Aaron Davey tried to get free. The umpire says he was held without it. He's going to go wide to Daniel Russell. Had to come back with the flight. Didn't know what was coming. Did well to take a good mark in the end. And then he kicks up towards the hot spot. Cloak's caught behind. It comes off hands. Hamilton can't quite shark it. McDowell got the clearing handball. Sean Wilson kicks it out to Calvin Williams, and they're out of trouble. The Buffaloes survive that foray forward from the Magpies. Short kick back to Sean Wilson, who's got it 55 out from his defensive line. Goes long, down the line. Not a good kick though, cut off Charlton White.
Charlton White been very good in the last half for the Magpies. Was a bit over anxious early, but he certainly lifted his game.
Then kicks in the Hamilton direction. It clears the pack. Emery's got time and space. He needs to nail the goal or find a target. Holt Tubbs is the target in the end. Couldn't quite gather. Cloak off the ground towards Holt Tubbs. He can go off the ground again. Couldn't quite. But the umpire says he was infringed. Now Keaton Holt Tubbs has a shot on goal coming up.
Well, it's all happening, isn't it? As Bill Laurie once said, it's all happening. What a game of football this is. This will level the scores again, Dave.
Important kick.
I thought Emery might have gone for goal himself, you know, but obviously saw a teammate in a better position.
Well, what can the young fellow manage? In comes Keaton Holt Tubbs. It's not a difficult kick, but the circumstances make it difficult. And he's missed. Oh, it's a vital miss, and they get stuck into him as well. It reduces the margin to 5 points. They needed a goal, Palmerston, and Holt Tubbs hasn't delivered.
No, unfortunately, missing from 15 metres out.
Good kick in from Sean Wilson. Kerneth takes the mark. Inside defensive 50, AFL NTV action, and it's the Buffaloes that are leading the Magpies by just 5 points now. 10-6-66 plays 8-13-61 as Pettigrew makes sure that one goes out of play. Boundary throw in on centre wing.
And that scoreboard clock is against Palmerston now, Dave. They've got to get the next goal. I'm sure the players will be looking up and looking at that yellow second hand ticking over.
Russell won the tap down. Now a quick kick inboard. Little couldn't quite take the mark. Campbell scrambled to kick. And then Jordan Wilson-King. He was claimed as well before getting a meaningful handball. Big bump is laid there. And the Magpies come away. Emery, he's been pretty good. He pumps it long towards attacking 50. Hamilton comes out to meet it. McDowell got a fist in there. Hamilton back over the top. Lonigan overran it. Not Elwyn Davey though. He gathered. Cameron
Cloak from behind. Holt Tubbs, maybe another opportunity. This time he got a boot on it, but just couldn't quite bend it back enough. 2 points from him in the last 2 minutes. Sees the Magpies 4 points down, Gray.
4 points down, yes. They've had opportunities too, but they just can't take them.
It's 22 scoring shots to 16. The Magpies favour, but they're still trailing by 4 points. Daniel Russell squirts one out to Bevan Charlton-White. He was claimed. Managed to get a kick away just in time. Cam Stokes now under pressure. The pressure came there from Shanahan, got around him, forced a kick in, brought to a contest though. Emery did well to force the contest. Jordan Wilson-King over the footy. Umpire says he was held illegally. So a free kick to the Buffaloes through Jordan Wilson-King. Doesn't muck around, up towards Aldridge, who dropped a mark and spilled out of play. 4 points the difference. Time favouring the Buffaloes, as you mentioned, Gray.
Yes, the clock ticking over, like a time bomb really for Palmerston.
Russell, he's been dominant in the ruck, but here come the Buffaloes. Jared Stokes, he's the barometer. He can just about win it for them, but he goes across the face of goal. Just a minor score. 5 points the difference now.
Yes, Jared likes those goals normally, but that time just off to the right.
How's this? Just 3 scoring shots for the Buffaloes in this quarter, as opposed to for the Magpies 6 scoring shots, and they still find themselves behind after the margin was just 3 points at 3/4 time. Meantime, the Magpies, Lachlan Durkay goes wide. It's going to be tight. It's out of bounds on the full. So free kick to Aldridge. Umpires conferring here.
Bit of controversy again. He was definitely out on the full.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Aldridge is going to have the free kick. 20 and a half minutes gone on AFL NTV. Aldridge sends the Buffaloes long. It comes off hands. Pettigrew. There's a free kick though, and it's going to go to the Magpies. What can they do here, Gray? Can they plot a path to goal? They trail by 5 points. Cloak, he's forced a long way from home, and that spills out of play once again. Another boundary throw in. This time it's about 10 metres forward of centre wing.
They're going to have to run the ball up. This kicking long for a marking contest isn't working.
Wee-Wack Ross came over the top and won the contest against Russell. But it's the Magpies that come away. The kick-in board up towards centre-half forward, though, is no good. It's cut off by Jordan Wilson-King, who's not in any hurry.
Probably the best player on the ground, I think, David, Jordan King.
He's been very good.
Slightly ahead of the big fellow Russell from Palms.
The Buffaloes attempting possession football. Icono to Sean Wilson, another player who's been good for the Buffaloes. Sean Wilson goes long and down the line. Can they find a mark? The Buffaloes can't, but Brodie Bennett can for the Magpies. Cameron Cloak is demanding the footy long. The kick's going to drop short of him though. Sean Wilson didn't quite take the mark. Pierce Little just throws it on the boot. Oh, didn't quite. It might not matter. Davey runs in and the Magpies are back in front.
Well, just when I was saying the long kicks aren't working, Pierce Little's ball burster has landed with Froggy Davey, who's run on and scooted away and put them in front.
Oh, Alwyn Davey got loose inside, attacking 50, and he put the Magpies back in front. After all looked lost earlier in the game, they trailed by as much as 32 points, Gray, at one stage, and they are now in front after having played 22 and a half minutes in the final term.
Can't be a lot of time left. There's been 4 goals kicked this quarter. So that means about 25 minutes, I reckon.
Centre square infringement. It's going to go the Buffaloes' way. Wee-Wack Ross. These two teams have already played in a draw. Could we have another one? They go inside 50. Collinson got a boot to it. Foster tries to stand his ground. They all burrow in from both sides. The footy's still loose. Eventually the umpire calls for it. There cannot be much time left, Gray Morris. 23 minutes gone in the final term, and it's the Magpies that are leading by 1 point.
Yeah, I reckon 2 minutes left here, so the Buffaloes have certainly got time to do it.
Murphy tries to claim Emery, couldn't quite. Ikono tries to dive on the footy. Toby Cameron got it loose, and the Magpies are out of trouble at least momentarily. Is there a downfield free kick? No, the free kick's coming back, but it's still going to chew up much needed time, and the Buffaloes don't have time to spare. They're 1 point behind, and their finals aspirations may be coming to a grinding halt in the next minutes of football.
What type of spread have they got? He's just going to go along, is he?
Battaglia does just that. Dylan Gordon takes a very strong mark. Hamilton needs to think about giving this back. Doesn't want to give away 50. Gordon, he's looking long. He goes with the long left foot kick. Can they find a mark? No mark there to Irving. And Ikono takes it out of play. 24 and a half minutes almost played in this final term. And it's the Magpies that are leading by 1 point. There's the siren. It's all over. Jubilation from the Palmy Army. Devastation for the Buffaloes.
Game of the season, David. That one, terrific game of football. They had everything. It had desperation, it had courage, it had great marks and terrific goals.
Well, the final score, it's Palmerston 9-14-68 defeating the Buffaloes 10-7-67. It was 1 point the difference after Alwyn Davey put the Magpies in front at the 21-minute mark of the final term. The last time these two teams played, it was a draw. This time, it was still pretty close, Gray Morris.
Definitely, it's right up for grabs right to the end. In fact, the Buffaloes were going forward right at the end there, but yes, it's just it's got to be a winner and it's got to be a loser, although there has been draws between these two sides, hasn't there? Big sigh of relief in the Palmerston coach's box, I'm sure, because it puts them back in the 5 temporarily until we see what happens with the next game, David, which viewers will see live on AFL TV.
The viewers certainly will, Gray. On hashtag AFL NTV. It's been a privilege bringing the game to you once again on AFL NTV. We're going to get the team sheets for the Wanderers Tiwi game. We're going to get ourselves organised and we're going to bring that game to you live on AFL NTV. So make sure you tune in for that one. That game will be starting at 7:55. So about 15 minutes till the start of that one. Make sure you hang around, but if you're going to do something else with your Saturday night, we hope you've enjoyed the footy here today. We'll quickly go through the goal kickers, the major goal kickers. Cameron Cloak was the major goal kicker on the ground with 3, 2 to Mark Hamilton, 2 each to Tim Eldridge and Calvin Williams. But from Dave Kennedy and Gray Morris on AFL NTV, make sure you stick with us for Wanderers Tiwi, otherwise we will see you next week.